Look out, Clint Eastwood. There is a new grumpy man in Hollywood, and his name is Otto Anderson, as portrayed by Tom Hanks in the film A Man Called Otto. A Man Called Otto is also produced by Tom Hanks, Rita Wilson, and features one of Tom Hanks' sons in it in classic nepotism fashion, true to Hollywood form. Anyway, today on the Beniverse, my name is Ben Friedman, and we are reviewing the film A Man Called Otto, starting now. Hello all, my name is Ben Friedman. Thank you all for checking out the Beniverse, and today on this channel I am reviewing the latest film from Tom Hanks, A Man Called Otto. This released this weekend here in the United States. A Man Called Otto follows Tom Hanks portraying the character of Otto Anderson, a recent widower who is stuck in his old ways and his old patterns. One day when he decides to end his life so he can be reunited with his wife, a new neighbor moves in who changes his perspective on life. It is a classic story from Hollywood, as old as time, similar to films such as Gran Torino and Up. Starring alongside Tom Hanks in A Man Called Otto is Mariana Trevino and Mac Beta. And let's just get into my review of A Man Called Otto, which I should point out is a remake of a foreign film and an adaptation of a novel. When the trailer for A Man Called Otto first came out, it was definitely memed to death. It was not received particularly kindly. It was very hard to tell what the tone of this film was, to figure out what Tom Hanks was doing in it. And with the release date of January, it seemed that the studio was not supporting the release of A Man Called Otto. Yet this film has proven to be somewhat of a sensation amongst audiences who have been really falling in love with this character of Otto Anderson. I got to see this movie last night, and I think there is a certain reason for this phenomenon that is Otto Anderson. And it goes back to my theory that I've talked about on this channel of they don't make films like they used to. And by that, I don't mean like the messages of the films. I don't mean the type of actors or directors that they do. I mean, they simply don't make these mid-budget Hollywood films anymore. These $35 to $70 million budget films that feature an actor doing their thing and just being able to live this type of life for 2 hours on the screen. These films are increasingly rare in Hollywood. It's so often the big budget studio films, it is the indie films, and it is the streaming films. There hasn't been much room in between for the rest of this. And A Man Called Otto is very traditional in its storytelling senses. This is, by definition, a feel-good story. Despite some of the darker elements which I touched in the synopsis, this is a lighthearted comedy drama. And what works about this film so well is Tom Hanks as the character Otto. Tom Hanks is able to just coast on charisma alone, and in this film he does so in strides. He is very good as the role of Otto Anderson, and he's actually giving a very committed performance that is surprising from him. I think it would have been very easy for another actor to step in, and when they are playing the older, grumpier archetype, I think it would have been very easy for them to go for the big, broad laughs. Tom Hanks is actually quite understated as Otto. He is a much more complicated character than the trailer and the plot synopsis would have you believe. And Tom Hanks being Tom Hanks, it's just so easy to root for. Now, I'm not going to come out and say A Man Called Otto is some form of a masterpiece or one of Tom Hanks' best performances, but it is a valiant effort from Tom Hanks, and he is showcasing why he is just one of the most beloved stars. A Man Called Otto works in its simplicity. This is a very straightforward story. You've seen stories like this. I've already listed films like Up and Gran Torino. This is the archetype story of an old man whose life changes when new people come into him and remind him of what life means to him and why it matters. That's what A Man Called Otto is. It is very straightforward in its approach, and yet the straightforwardness is effective. In its approach, it just allows Tom Hanks to cook. And in cooking, he is just able to take over the screen. Now, that is not to say he doesn't have some great help in this film. In particular, Mariana Trevino plays his neighbor, who is a mother of two who is also pregnant. She is married to just a dumb husband, is the best way as Tom Hanks' character Otto would describe him. He is somebody that is very kind-hearted, but he doesn't understand how to work tools and basically work with his hands. So he is at quite juxtaposition to Otto Anderson, who sees him as a lesser man for all of that. Now, hearing a character like this husband, I think it would be fair to assume for the audience that this film's humor is largely aimed at boomer generation, the type of humor where it is the old school, set in their ways, believing that these are the right ways to do it, and just criticizing the ways of the young. And I am not here to say that is not the humor of A Man Called Otto. In fact, that is the humor of A Man Called Otto. And I should say, it did not work for me in any slight form. The jokes are so broad and they are so geared towards the boomer demographic to get them laughing at just the stupidity of young people. That is the level of humor. I did not find it funny. I will say at the screening that I saw it at, I was by far the youngest person in that auditorium. The average age, I would say, is retirees who saw this movie with me. And let me tell you, Otto Anderson was their version of Richard Pryor at the Apollo. Otto's lines killed this audience. They were laughing like they had never seen comedy before. Like this was a true revelation. So I can't take away that the humor is quite effective to a certain audience. It did not work for me, but it is certainly going to play for a certain demographic. But that is actually works to the film's benefit because this film does have something for everybody. I was able to connect with the drama of this film and the sincerity of it. When you hear the word like sincerity, I believe people's brains kind of get a trigger warning where they're like, oh, okay, I get what this is. This is going to be overly optimistic and it's just not going to feel real. And I don't want you to mistake sincerity for authenticity in this film. There are some genuine moments of emotion within A Man Called Otto, and there are some great lessons to be learned about this. In particular, there is some great transgender representation present within A Man Called Otto. Mac Beta's character relates to Otto due to a connection they both had with his wife. And it's a very emotionally touching scenes within the film. There are some genuine moments of just heartfelt, big emotion and the importance of representation, of being seen and being heard and being able to express oneself as they are. Those moments of A Man Called Otto sung for me. I thought that was truly the most beautiful aspect of this film. And in those ways, I found A Man Called Otto to be quite effective in its storytelling. Is it very simplistic? Yes. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't work. It is simple storytelling done well. And that's why I can recommend for you all to go see A Man Called Otto. This is a true crowd pleaser in all the ways possible. This is going to play to any age and demographic. There's going to be some aspects that really work with older audiences, and there's going to be some aspects that really work with younger audiences. But I think everyone can find something to enjoy in A Man Called Otto. Well, that was weird. I don't know what just happened. My video just went haywire for the last minute of my review. But what I was trying to say before my video rudely interrupted me is A Man Called Otto is a film worth your time. I'm giving it 3 out of 4 stars. Great. Thank you all for watching my review. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to the Beneverse to see more. Thank you all for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.